luggage. Everybody evacuate the station. We were like, oh my god, we were freaking out because our entire group was already like on, like already was in the gate, like in the gate, getting into the train, and the train was leaving, and we were gonna get stranded in Paris. But like, it was gonna be a nightmare. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We're going to continue to whisper this time around, and I'm super excited that you're here with me. You're here with me today. I've got another 10 things I wish I knew. I love this series because I get to share a little bit about my experiences with you, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it informational. I hope that you get some good content out of it, some good insights. Alright, so first things first, I have my little notebook. So number one of my 10 things I wish I knew before going to Europe. So just a little bit of background. If you're like me, you know, we're not going to Europe all the time. You may get to go to Europe once, maybe a couple times in your lifetime. I don't know. So I tried to do a trip that would maximize my time there. I knew it wasn't a trip where you were just lounging around. This was an actual, it wasn't a vacation, it was a trip. So I wanted to like get the most out of it. So number one, getting a scheduled tour is the way to go if you want to maximize what you get to see. We went to 5 countries, 7 cities in 12 days. I know it sounds crazy because you're not, it's not an extensive, like comprehensive tour, right? But you do get to see like the main monuments, the main highlights of every single city here and there. So we actually booked it through, I think it was called Gate One Travel, and I can't remember, it's through Cosmos. I think it's the company's Cosmos. Honestly, top notch. They had all their stuff together. The itineraries, they offered you optional excursions that you could purchase for a fee, and we did everything that they offered. We did not want to skip on anything because, I mean, how many times are you gonna go and get to experience a completely new like continent, you know? So we fully took advantage of everything. All right, second thing I wish I knew. You will walk. You will walk, okay? I mean, that's all you do, because it's not a tour where you're just lounging by the pool, where you're just lounging by the beach. No, this is a walking trip where you get to go to different, you know, museums, churches, cathedrals, cities. I mean, the list is endless of monuments, of different things that these beautiful cities, these beautiful countries offer. So if I remember correctly, because we went in 2018, so a couple years before the pandemic. Honestly, it was great. I mean, I suggest going like now, but like I knew some people that were going either right after the pandemic, and it was just like, why would you do that? You know, they're not gonna let you do all the great things that you want to do. But we English, it's a turn off. I think they would rather you try to speak French than just like try to like talk to them in like English. um, in Italy, it wasn't that they wanted you to speak Italian. It was just like some people really did not know any English. Like, we took a cab a couple times, and like those cab drivers like did not know like any English. So like you needed to try to be like, per favore, piazza Navona, dove il ristorante. Like you just had to like, even if it was butchered, it was important for you to know like certain things, right? Restroom, like how to order food. So I recommend like just know some basics. All right, number 4, try to be amongst first in line for all group travel and group activities. So let me tell you why. This is a good story time. We were at the train station in Paris getting ready to take the Eurostar to London with our whole group, okay? Mind you, it was a group of like 30 of us, right, with one guide. I don't think we even had the guide's phone number. Get your guide's phone number in like WhatsApp. But anyway, we were in a busy train station. It was a busy day, and somehow, like, I always try to be up front, but somehow, like, because they kept making us switch lanes, the people that were like directing, you know, like people flow into the like immigration little stands. They were like trying to get everybody to move, and we somehow got caught at the very back of our group. Well, by the time we got to the window where we handed them, the officer, our passport, there was an announcement on the intercom that said, everybody, we have identified a unattended luggage. Everybody evacuate the station. We were like, oh my God. We were freaking out because our entire group was already like already was in the gate, getting into the train, and the train was leaving, and we were gonna get stranded in Paris. But like it was gonna be a nightmare. So, long story short, we started to turn around and like walk out, and like very slowly, which was probably so stupid. Like if you hear that, I mean, run for your life, okay? Try to like exit as quickly as possible, but we didn't. We were stupid, so don't be stupid. So we were walking really slow back, and we were like, oh my God, we're gonna be left behind. So then we see these people that were from the train station that came running, and we're like, we're missing 2 people from gate 40. I'm making that up, but they said a gate, and immediately I was like, oh, that's us. I didn't even know if it was us. They were like, hurry up, just come on, hurry up. So I handed my passport to the officer that was getting up, and he was like, yeah, go. And we ran to the gate. We ran down the stairs into the trains, and our guide was like holding the train. He was holding the conductor or whatever, the train person outside was like holding them, like, we need these people to get on the train. And when we got down there, the guide was like, in some of these excursions. So what do I mean by that? So when we were doing the booking of our tour, there were additional excursions for visiting the Vatican, for going to the Palace of Versailles, for doing a tour of just different things. And we did everything. I mean, we paid for everything. One of them was to see like a Moulin Rouge type, like, show. And at the time, like, we just, now I probably wouldn't watch that, but at the time we were like, hey, let's just go see it. We were the only ones in our whole group of 30 people that booked that excursion. So at nighttime, our guide, who usually would pack up like our big bus to go to these excursions, he was like, it's just you two. So he got us like a Mercedes Benz, like really nice car to take us to the event. Because there were only two of us and not a huge like group of people that would usually sit in the back. When we got there, they told us that we could sit at the very, very front, and they gave us like champagne. I mean, it was like a really nice experience, mainly because we were by ourselves. So just try to do everything. You never know if you're gonna have more of a exclusive event. Anyway, okay, number 6, pack light. I cannot stress this enough. We went 12 days on a carry-on and a backpack each. We did not want to be hauling around a huge like suitcase that we would have to check in the airline. I mean, when we got to our destination and we got our backpack and our carry-on, we were out. We were ready to go. There was no need to wait on the carousel for our luggage to be brought out. Like, that would have really put a damper and delayed things for us. Especially when we first landed in Europe, we went to Rome, and we were able to get the first bus to our hotel, and we were the first ones to get there from our tour. And because we were so early, our flight had been overnight. We were there like in the early morning. Our guide was like, if you want, drop off your stuff, and here's a list of things that we're not gonna do in the tour, and you have all day to just go do that. And we were like, yeah, heck yeah, we're gonna do that. We were exhausted, but we were in Europe. Who cares? It was so much fun. So pack light, and try to reuse your pieces. We did a lot of laundry in our hotel, so I took a little the Tide Pods with me, today talking about the tour and some of the people that were like funny in our tour. So it's a lot of fun. Honestly, I love the tours, and it was all ages. I mean, it was kids with families, it was older people, it was young people. It was like everybody was there. Yeah, so it was a cool tour. Number nine. When you get there, take most of the trip and just go, go, go. Like I mentioned earlier, we took a cab to a plaza, which was Piazza Navona, and we went into the Colosseum inside and actually did a Colosseum tour, because when we first got to Italy, our tour, because we were there so early, he told us that this was a list of things that we were not going to get to do, and touring the inside of the Colosseum was one of those. And I was like, oh no. So he was like, you have time, so try to do that today. And we did, and we did not stop. We were just like non-stop going. We were up super early. I mean, there were days when you would have to be up at 5 downstairs because the tour was leaving to go to the next city. And you just got some sleep whenever you could at nighttime or when you were traveling. But when we were like out and like at it, like we were gone, and there were some people sometimes, I mean, bless them, they were like older, and sometimes they would stay sleeping in the bus while we did a tour. And I was like, see, that's why you travel when you're younger. All right, number 10. Number 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Get your currency exchanges before you go, or get a credit card. Get a credit card that has zero foreign exchange fees. So if you try to exchange cash over there or at the airport, it can be a little bit difficult, or it's way more expensive. I mean, they really rip you off. So it's better to try to get that exchanged here locally before you go, either at your bank or whatever. And do try to carry cash with you, because you want to leave tips. You want to be able to just have spending money for buying things at markets or little places. But other than that, a 0% or a foreign transaction fees credit card works just as good almost everywhere. So we were swiping left and right, but when you buy, make sure that you click on their local currency when you do the transaction, because otherwise they will, if you click dollars for the transaction, which you can, but they will charge you whatever currency exchange rate they like, and sometimes it's like way higher. So always, when you run your credit card, always choose the local currency, because your bank is going to do the math at like a better rate for the transaction. And that's it. You guys, go to Europe if you get a chance whenever. It's honestly like a dream, and we just had such a good time. We loved it. We went in April, and I think April was amazing. There's not big crowds. It's not as like crazy, and the weather was really nice.